Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today, because we're going to explore one of the most fascinating intersections in modern media. We're talking about the exact point where the magic of classic filmmaking collides head-on with modern neuroscience. If you've ever felt completely captivated by a movie, like literally unable to look away from the screen, you might have wondered, was it just great acting, or is something way deeper happening inside my head? Well, today, we're going to look at the hard data and see exactly how movies might actually be controlling your brain.
Section 1. The Science of Audience Reactions. Okay, let's dive into this and set the historical stage real quick before we get to the high-tech brain scanners. The legendary director Alfred Hitchcock, the guy famous for orchestrating incredibly intense moments like the shower scene in Psycho, he once made this incredibly bold claim. He said, "Creation is based on an exact science of audience reactions." Just think about how profound that is for a second. He wasn't saying filmmaking was just some subjective art form or a matter of pure luck. Nope. He viewed it as an exact, deliberate science. He genuinely believed he was manipulating a formula to get a very specific, guaranteed reaction from you, the viewer.
But, that leaves us with a massive question, doesn't it? Was Hitchcock actually right? Can a master filmmaker's gut intuition about audience manipulation actually be proven by hard, modern science decades later?
To answer that, scientists basically had to invent an entirely new field. It's called neurocinema, and simply put, it's the study of how different styles of filmmaking exert control over viewers' brains. Neuroscientists are now actively studying how we watch movies to figure out exactly which directorial styles have the maximum amount of control over our neural pathways.
Section 2. Inside the fMRI machine. To actually put Hitchcock's theory to the test, we gotta leave the movie theater and step straight into the modern laboratory. So, picture this setup. In one groundbreaking study, researchers brought participants into the lab and had them watch a movie while lying flat inside an fMRI machine. If you don't know, that's a massive scanner that tracks real-time blood flow in your brain. And the movie they chose for this? A 30-minute segment of the classic Western, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. For that entire half hour, the fMRI scanner actively recorded the viewer's brain activity to see exactly what was happening beneath the surface while the film played.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what they found. When researchers compared the patterns of activity across all the different participants' brains, the results were remarkably synchronized. They weren't just seeing random, baseline, unengaged brain activity. Instead, during particular intense scenes of the movie, activity in certain brain areas increased and decreased at the exact same time across totally different participants. Furthermore, their eyes actually tracked the exact same areas of the screen. The researchers concluded this synchronization was a clear, physical indication that those specific scenes were highly engaging to the human brain.
Section 3. The Master of Brain Control. So we know an engaging movie can sync up our brains, but do some directors have a tighter grip on our minds than others? Let's look at a crucial follow-up study that compared different types of media.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer contrast in the data. They measured how much of the cortex, that's the outer layer of the brain, synced up across different viewers when watching different media. Look at the bottom there. A 10-minute, unedited, static shot of a New York City park only synchronized 5% of viewers' cortices. Makes sense, right? An episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm bumped that up to 18%. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly hit a highly impressive 45%. But at the very top, an episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents evoked similar brain activity across all viewers in over 65% of the cortex.
65%. No way, right? Let that massive number sink in for a second. This data definitively proves that Hitchcock could literally orchestrate the responses of different brain regions in a timely fashion across all of his viewers. He was playing the human brain like a maestro, conducting a symphony, proving his old theory that audience reaction truly could be an exact science.
So, the crucial point is understanding what this data actually means. fMRI evaluates strict engagement and director intention. It is not measuring artistic or aesthetic value. Hitchcock controlling 65% of the cortex doesn't objectively mean his show is better art than Curb Your Enthusiasm. It simply shows that some TV shows and movies actively aim to control the audience's reaction much more heavily than others. And the success of that control depends entirely on the director's specific style and intentions.
Section 4. The Future of Neurocinema. Let's move to and see how this builds into something that sounds straight out of a science fiction movie: highly interactive media.
Very soon, you, the audience, could literally be sitting in the director's seat through an interactive feedback loop. Walk through these steps with me. Step 1. You sit down to watch a movie. Step 2. While you watch, the movie is actively scanning your brain activity in real time. Step 3. The film dynamically alters its own plot and pacing based on your neural feedback to maximize your specific engagement. It's like the ultimate choose-your-own-adventure story, powered entirely by your subconscious reactions.
Section 5. Predicting the entertainment industry. Because actually, this isn't just about futuristic, interactive movies. The applications of neurocinema are already expanding outward today.
Neurocinema provides objective, hard data that creators are already using. First, they can objectively measure the entertainment value of their content without relying on biased surveys. Second, they can use these results to refine exactly how engaging a TV show is before it ever even hits the airwaves. And third, and this is a huge one for the industry, they can optimize the emotional effectiveness of advertisements. By looking directly at the brain, creators don't have to guess what works anymore, they can actually see it happening.
But, we do have to recognize the limits of neurocinema, which is why we're comparing it to big data here. While neurocinema is absolutely perfect for measuring our immediate physical audience engagement and reaction to a screen, it can't tell us everything. Like, it can't tell us who's going to walk away with this year's Oscars. For something complex and seemingly unpredictable, like forecasting industry awards, you need a totally different methodology, one that relies on analyzing vast amounts of big data rather than individual brain scans. Both are vital tools, but they serve very different purposes in the industry.
Which brings us to our final thought for today. Think back to that interactive feedback loop we just discussed. Imagine sitting down to watch a horror film that is actively reading your unique brain activity, figuring out exactly what frightens you the most, and instantly tailoring its scares to target your specific neural pathways. I gotta leave you with this question. Is that the ultimate cinematic dream or the true definition of a nightmare? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope it gave you a whole new perspective on what lights, camera, action really means.